Data! Come out, Data!
Awesome sauce. We are gonna watch this in English because sometimes the English dub is just amazing. So I can welcome you guys with open shadow claws of Goldfarb and their mediocre music choices.
No! You gotta know I believe in you!
Or nothing. The first episode is already a really great start for the series. Episode starts with Liko waiting for a bus. You can already tell that Liko is not like Ash at all. She's very shy, she talks to herself, and she's an artist, which really makes me sad because I can't draw. Or maybe I can. Her bus arrives and there's a Machop here carrying her suitcase, which I would say is cute if Machop wasn't in the top 5 Pokemon that make me uncomfortable. The two girls who Liko thought were talking to her are watching a streamer that Liko likes, being Nidothing. And I completely forgot that this isn't a one-time thing, which is for the best because Nidothing's fun.
You don't know what a Pokemon trainer is? A Pokemon trainer is someone who raises Pokemon and battles with them in competition! And we all know the thing every Pokemon trainer wants to be more than anything!
Unless you have just gotten into Pokemon just now, or haven't seen Pikachu at least once in your life, that's what Nidothing is here for. She basically tells you the basics of, well, Pokemon, but she does it in a way where I don't feel like mashing the button A. Anyway, Liko makes her way into her apartment, but she's bombarded by a freak named Dan.
Hey there! And call me Liko, cause that's my name.
Dude, I can definitely see why people did not trust Anne. She doesn't stop with the pendant the first time she sees it. She ignores Liko's explanation and question.
Did I wake you up? What do you got in the box?
And she wants to wear the pendant, and then this edgelord shows up into her apartment, and he wants the pendant for reasons we don't know yet. It just feels too coincidental. Sorry, I just had to get that out before we continue. But if this wasn't intentional, that is really funny. We now cut to a battle which isn't really interesting. Hell, it doesn't even last 10 seconds. Be the cooler, muscular evolved form of Machop. Does a 50% accuracy move, hits but does nothing, gets one-shotted. I mean, to be fair, Espeon is psychic. It's now time for them to gain their starter Pokemon. But first, they have an assembly, which is organized by elderly Lisa Ortiz?
The exciting, wonderful world of Pokemon. A group of creatures most unusual, teeming with mystery.
Okay, now they're... It's now time for them to finally get their starter Pokemon. And what's cool about them getting their starter Pokemon here is that it's not from a specific group. You can choose from Gen 1 to all the way up to Gen 9, which I think would be a fun idea for the games. Before Liko can get her starter, which is totally not from Gen 9, Anne does, and since she's not a mainstay in the series, I wonder what Pokemon she's gonna get here. Fennekin? Totodile? Hey, maybe even Turtwig, that'd be pretty neat.
Hero, you're next.
Names their kid Hero. So yeah, Anne gets Oshawott, which is fine. I like Oshawott well enough. Although I'm going to be really excited when she evolves it into Duat, and possibly even a Hisuian Samurott. Seems really unlikely, but you never know. In case you want to know, Oshawott in Horizons is voiced by Lisa Ortiz. Liko finally gets her starter, which scratches her because natural instincts, and then Sprigatito leaves. But can I just say that the music is decent here in this scene? It's nothing to write home about, but it's decent. Actually, the music so far in Horizons is actually okay, just a bit repetitive. Hopefully soon we get great bangers in English dub. I doubt it, but a man can dream. Funny haha shenanigans ensue, which somehow makes Liko almost die. Liko tries to understand her starter better by just jotting down what she does, which is a fine idea Anne hatched up after their battle, which I skipped, as there's more interesting stuff to talk about here, like how this is one of the coolest Charmander moments ever since his mystery dungeon expressions, and all he's doing is standing there. Or how we keep seeing that Poliwhirl, who is basically a little helper in the academy, which probably is a reference to his mascot days, or these 3 suspicious individuals trying to find our main hero. And I'm just gonna get this out of the way. I gooned to Orla.
This is pointless. All these kids look the same to me.
First off, you're looking for a blue-haired girl. I don't think it would be that hard. Secondly, this is kind of creepy. You could just ask the principal where Liko is and just tell him your situation.
So which sunny spot is Sprigatito napping in today?
I didn't pause this time. My internet went down. I'm gonna skip for a bit since nothing really happens other than the Freed being there and Ludlow being there. Actually, I'm going to talk about that. I'm not sure if I dug deep enough, but I don't think I've heard anyone talk about Ludlow's design being similar to Drampa's. Not even Bulbapedia mentions this. Hey guys, future Mimikyu here. I wanted to fact check this, so I checked Bulbapedia again, and I was wrong. That was my mistake. Enjoy the rest of the video. Was it that obvious, or did people genuinely did not know? But anyway, I found that really cool when I first saw Ludlow, and it's still pretty neat today. Alright fellas, now this is when the plot really kicks in. Like, Horizons has been going strong so far, and it keeps getting stronger. You know when Liko was talking about the pendant that her grandma gave her with the most mature 10-year-old voice I've ever heard?
Yeah, it was a gift from my grandmother. To protect me. At least that's what she said.
That last part was unnecessary, but I found that funny. Well, my friends, turns out Amethio wants the pendant for himself for reasons that we don't know yet. But at least he's not actually sneaking around the school and not being creepy. He's just evil. Take notes, Murdoch. Honestly, Amethio's kind of boring, but he's rocking cool hair, so I can forgive him. Liko's best course of action is to get up on the roof, but she's spotted, so she goes back down.
Let's go! Now right on!
Are you actually serious? This is the mon you chose?
I don't what the squad weak to grasp. At least his attack stat is solid and honest. You'll be fine to got the things. They have zero experience. I doubt that you would fall.
Dude, if Zerk's Rhydon can't even tank a tackle, I no longer have faith in his Skarmory. Amethio asks his comrades where Liko went, and she's on the roof again, and he's there in like 2 seconds. Wow.
I found you!
Of course you have a Charizard. Freed's the best part of the episode, and I think Freed was my favorite character while I was watching Horizons for the first time. And I think he still is. Part of the reason why I like him so much is his English voice actor nails Freed's voice. I don't know how to put this into words exactly, but when Crispin voices Freed, he sounds like a really chill grandpa, but always has still one more in him. There's just something soothing and pretty raw about Freed's voice. And obviously his character is really great too. But enough Freed glazing, let's get back to the episode. Freed and his Charizard are ready to duke it out, and Amethio sends out his Cerulege. While I do like Armarouge more than Cerulege is still really cool Pokemon. And even Charcadet's pretty cute. The battle is solid, but I don't have much to say on it. Man, even Freed's Charizard knows Flamethrower. I think it's just law that every Charizard in the Pokemon anime needs Flamethrower in their arsenal. Trevor's Charizard has it, Ash's Charizard has it, Leon's Charizard has it, Sawyer's Charizard, wait, Sawyer doesn't have it. Lon's Charizard has it, the Conductor's Charizard has it, the Kiawe. I think the only Charizard that doesn't have it is the Rental's Charizard, and I could be wrong. The episode ends in a cliffhanger, surprisingly, as Liko and Sprigatito jump off again. Cerulege misses his Bitter Blade, and it's going after Liko, so there's that. What a great episode this was. We have a protagonist that people can relate to, including myself. There's some mystery about some of the characters, like who's that baddie over there, and who's that white-haired guy. We have a villain team that kinda sucks. We have questions such as why do the explorers want Liko's pendant? Must be sold to really high shops. Who is Anne and why is she so nosy? And probably the most important question, why is Pikachu not in this episode? This episode gets a 9 out of 10. The only nitpick I have is just Zerk's Rhydon being really bad, and the Explorers just not being that intimidating. I know I'm not a huge reviewer like Niall Kelly, MitchellMander, Pokeferlax, or Zac, but what I do better than all of them is exaggerate my nitpicks, so consider subbing? Perhaps? I can't promise you when episode 2 is gonna come out, but I can't say... Actually, what can I say?
Have you found her?
No, but she's hiding here somewhere.